Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. How is everyone doing? Uh, our bucket list has holes. Hey, PG and family, much love to all. Much love to you, girl. Hello, Steph. She says hi. Flip flop this up. Says hey. Hey to you. Steph was number two. Our bucket list has holes. Number one in here tonight. And Flip flop is number three. God bless you all. Hello, Melody. Justice for all. There's my white window, baby. How you doing, girl? Hello, Robin. The other Sharon. Yeah, I'm early. I ain't staying in too long. I actually was taking a few days off into the school year, getting things together, but there's a lot blew up, right? 4 o'clock in the morning. And Ziggy went crazy. That was funny. She went and lost her crap, right? On Tiffany Marie, of all people. I guess she needed something to talk about, right? How you doing, Justice for All? God bless. Yeah, Ziggy went mayhem. You gotta wonder what provoked that, right? I mean, last time last time I checked, these channels we were supposed to be a community for missing children, right? We're supposed to come together and helping one another to find these children. I mean, what 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 good was all of that for Summer? What I mean, did did any of that find her? Did any of that help her at all? Did any of that our bucket list has holes. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. We missed you. Much love. Much love to you. Oh, I so appreciate that. I'm so grateful. God bless. Um I my question was is, you know, what could you just do for Summer? Right. Joe, how is being on a live complaining about it helping find Summer Wells? And that's what I'm talking about. It's not, right? It's not helping to find Summer. You know, as creators, we've got to stop. We've got to stop the hate. We got to stop. I mean, well, all of that argument went on 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, there's a lot of missing children. You know, a lot of missing children. Not just Summer, but a lot of missing children, right? And a whole lot. And that time would have been better spent on one of those children, right? Getting this picture out there, getting this name out here, um, letting people understand that this child needs to be found or it needs, justice or whatever. I mean, whatever's going on in that particular child's life, it would be better, time spent than worrying about, you know, Tiffany Marie's check, right? So, I mean, when did the creators' checkbooks become everybody's business? When did I think that's personal information. Um, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure why was, why was this an issue? I did tally up. I did tally up this, the list of giving. And there was not $1,500 on it, but Tiffany Marie needs to get a hold of her bank and find out, what exactly happened if it's not there, right? If it's not there, or did she have to go back and possibly write, or did she write it for a bigger sum? We don't know what she did. She says it's on there. She said it's on there. Absolutely. I do allow everybody's opinion on here. This is America. You love who you love, hate who you want to hate, you know. Um, that's America. It's your right. I mean, I don't care if you don't like your mother. This is America, right? If you don't want to like your mother, you don't have to. If you don't want to like your neighbor, you don't have to. I mean, this is a free country. We are allowed to feel however we want to feel, right? Absolutely. Ain't got no time for people trying to run your life. It's your life. God gave it to you. Live it. Live it. Live it however you want to. That's what PG has to say. I hope you're living it righteously, without all of this kind of hate and discord, going on, but it is what it is. And, and we need to, take a look over this because her check was wrote for 920. Let's go back here and look at the 920. There's nothing there. But at 9/7 there was a $2,000 put in, and from, and I see a whole lot of, 1,000 well, that couldn't be hers. So I added it up. It comes out to what the reward fund tallies up to. So I don't know. I mean, but is she obligated to give that money? I mean, was she obligated to give it? And Lady CG says, I donated the same amount Tiffany Marie donated. I know better. Yeah, let's be hello, darling. It's a possibility. I mean, could the possibility be that her check somehow didn't make it through? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. She says it's there. She said it's there. I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing it. You're not seeing it. Unless she donated the 2,000. Unless she donated that 2,000, which would have been earlier though. I don't know. I mean, this ain't got names on it. It's just got figures, right? It's just got, amounts on it. It hasn't got Absolutely, Deputy Sheriff. I've got to agree with you. I absolutely have to agree with you. They both smoked off the back of Summer. That's the truth. That is the truth. Um, they're all smoking it. They're all smoking off the back of this baby. Right, that's what I'm saying. Justice for all. I don't know if she wrote that check and you know didn't have enough funding and had to put it in a little at a time. Um, there's a lot of amounts of money that went into that fund, and did she enter it in with someone else's? But the check is wrote out to It's written out to, Civic Bank, which is where that's for the Summer Wells Fund. But the 1,500 ain't on this particular, you know, this particular sheet that Ziggy put out. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, you know, what I'm trying to say is it worth arguing over? Is it worth taking up time, valuable time that another child could be up on panel, What I'm saying is, wouldn't it be better if we had this upon panel, Wouldn't it be a lot better if we just had, the missing child that we're all seeking and looking for and want to bring home, want to get justice for? Wouldn't that be better time spent? I mean, you can't put a price on this. You can't put a price on, the man hours, keeping this child in the light so that, law enforcement will know better than to make her case run cold. I mean, you got to keep law enforcement a fire under their backside, right? You got to keep law enforcement moving forward on this case. And what I'm trying to say is, I think it's way more important to, because in reality, who's going to get that reward? No one. I mean, if that reward was going to get got, I feel that it would have already been gotten. Okay. I mean, we're going into a year. Summer's been missing a year as of the 15th of this month. And the reward fund, I mean, yes, it's sitting there. Yes, it is enticing for anyone that might have some information. Absolutely. But what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, I think it's more important to have her, these kids' pictures up on the panel and, and the exposure out there to the public for people to look, seek, and find these children, for people to stand up and stand strong and fight for these children, to be found by law enforcement, because that's their job, right? I I can't disagree with you, Planet Diva. I can't, and I'm not going to. I you know I'm not going to argue with anyone. Yeah, Justice, that's true. Turn the check over and show that it's been endorsed over to the bank, right? I can't say what happened because I wasn't there. I'm just saying that all PG has to say is I don't think it's, I don't think it's, as creators, we got to quit, quit arguing amongst one another. We need to, stand together and bring these children home. That's what we need to do. I mean, it's worth, it's worth $1,500 to see everybody come together and band together to get Summer found. Right? That's worth $1 million, to be honest. Oh, my sweet Norway. How sweet of you. Nice to see you. Queen, my love, my light. They both are summer. We love you. My mentor, Sissy. Aw, God bless, sweetheart. I so appreciate that. I hope you're taking care of yourself, sweet Norway. I so worry about you. I so worry about you constantly. Yeah, I don't understand. I do not understand the hate. I don't understand the disrespect for one another. I don't understand none of that. I mean, you know, retaliation. Retaliation. Um what a word, right? It means attacking another human being due to a similar attack by them, right? That's what it means. It means two wrongs didn't make it right. Exactly. Justice for all. Just own it and move forward. Absolutely. You know, unless something did happen. I mean, I'm going to give I'm going to give Tiffany Marie the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know why the money's not on there. I mean, I wish she would explain, why it's not. Um, so Ziggy would, back up and get off her back, right? But, ain't it like the pot calling the kettle black? When Ziggy wants to talk about Tiffany and Tiffany's uh dirty ways of living. I mean, didn't Ziggy sign a contract for the Wells? For what, a dog? No, she didn't sign that contract to get a dog. She signed that contract and she took the dog because she thought that was the way to keep the Wells in her pocket and keep the money flowing in when they came up on her panel, right? That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Ziggy's out there for the money too. She tried to go talk about other cases instead of Summers. It didn't work out for the money wasn't rolling in, right? She wasn't getting the views. She jumped right back on the Summer case. Same way with some of the other creators. They tried to move to the monkey case. They tried to move to a different case, and they came right back to Summer's case because they weren't getting the likes, the views, and the clicks, right? That's what they've been doing. I keep an eye on them. But they want to hate on one another. Spill the hate, right? That hate, ugly hate. It's wrong. I ain't here to spill no hatred. I'm here to try to, hopefully mend some fences between these people. But, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink, right? Absolutely, justice for all. The hate has to stop and the lies have to stop. When it comes to, when it comes to Jody Sue, I don't rule Jody Sue out of nothing, but I keep in mind 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes from the trailer into a house. Into a house. Let me mind you. Into a house. The child went in the house. It wasn't like the child went running off the swing and mom didn't see it no more. This child went into a house which the mother claims she watched it go through the door. And she immediately helped her mother with the knee brace, turned around, went right into the house, and this child's gone. No way in hell could that have happened. No way in hell could that have happened. Absolutely not. So if you want to find the biggest liars, it's Candace and Grandis, right? Jody Sue's across the street with her 2 children at the time this all goes down. She's across the road with her 2 kids. Mind you, she did implicate herself into all of this. But I think, look at how many creators has implicated themselves into this for the dollar, right? And Jody Sue seen an opportunity as well, and she took it. She took it. Now, did she have anything to do with what happened this summer? I don't think so, because I personally talked with Donald, Candace, and I have spoke with Grandis on an occasion. And they're all lying. They're absolutely lying. And Donald did not want to implicate Jody Sue, Andy, or any of that family whatsoever into this. He absolutely did not want to implicate them any way, form, or how. Because he already knew what happened and they had nothing to do with it. So, if you want the truth, that is the truth. That is the truth. And Candace has fell off the face of the earth because she knows that, prosecution's about to come, right? She knows that, as they said, nothing new since the beginning, because in the beginning they knew who the culprits were. And everything's led them right back to 110 Ben Hill Road. Nowhere else, 110 Ben Hill Road. I'm voice for hypocrites. Hell yeah, I have spewed a lot. You come and attack me, I'll spew it on you right now. I believe in standing my ground. Absolutely. Do I go looking for people to hate on? Absolutely not. No. I have not ever attacked one person that did not attack me first. Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't think Tiffany attacked Ziggy. I think Ziggy went and attacked Tiffany. Because I think Tiffany asked her about some dog food. If she couldn't feed her dog, she wants all of you to do it. Then what is she doing with the dog? Nobody buys my dog food, right? I have to go to the store and buy that damn dog food myself. And I have to tell you, it's pretty expensive. Nobody pays my dog's vet bills. Just because it's a Wells dog don't mean the Johnny Public has to keep it the fuck up, right? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Ziggy adopted that puppy. Not we the people. Oh, there's Tiffany Marie. There's Tiffany. And she says, "Hi, PG. I'm not arguing with Ziggy. I don't talk about Ziggy at all. People can believe what they would like to. I've let them lie about me donating for a long time. I've always said I didn't donate. There you go. That's why it ain't on there. That is why it's not on there. Tiffany said she did not donate. She obviously was going to, but decided not to. And that is her right as a human. I mean, maybe she just didn't have it. Something else came up. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that time that Ziggy took out of everybody's lives would have been better spent on one of these lives, a missing child. It would have been much better. Well, Ziggy also had a wish list up for Jody Sue. I seen it. I absolutely positively seen it. So please don't attack Tiffany Marie for helping Jody Sue out when Ziggy was over there helping Jody Sue out as well, right? At Christmas, I remember Jody Sue having a wish list over at Ziggy's. So, let's not go there. Let's not even go there. Don't go there when it comes to Jody Sue. There's a lot of people that was Doug wanted people to donate to Jody Sue. Tiffany's always like Jody Sue. And try to help her. Absolutely. I know that. But Ziggy also had a wish list for Jody Sue. So, like I said, it's the pot calling the kettle black, right? And how much of that money did Ziggy donate to the Summer Wells Reward Fund that she was making? Because I know when I was over there on her panel with Donald, she was kicking ass with donations. How many of those did she give to the Summer Wells Fund? None. She gave all of that to the Ziggy Fund. So, like I said, he without sin cast the first stone. He without sin cast the first stone. Me and Tiffany Marie, we don't get along that great as well. But I'm not going to sit there and watch her be crucified by fucking Ziggy. I'm not going to do it. Because Tiffany Marie has fought for Summer from day one. I've watched her. And she has been 100% Summer strong from day one. I give her that. So, I know a lot of people don't like Ziggy, a lot don't like Tiffany Marie, a lot don't like, Hamp, a lot don't like me, right? And that's okay. That's okay. As long as God loves me, I love, myself. And that's enough for me. But, I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit there and watch Tiffany be crucified, so Ziggy can have a shit show and get a bunch of click, likes, and views, make a lot more money off the back of Summer, because that's what this shit's about, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Yeah, take a link and come on up, Tiffany. If you'd like to come up, hon, take the link and come up. I'm not going to, I'm not going to watch Tiffany be slandered and kicked around, because she has been for Summer as much as I've been for Summer. And Ziggy's been over there signing contracts for the fucking Wells. And I don't, and I know she was making tons of money off of Summer's back as well. She used me to make a ton of money off Summer's back. Let people come up there and attack me and hate on me. She promised I could, she called me up. I promise you can come up and say whatever you need, get, what's going on out there. And then she would let 20 people up to attack me, and I didn't get to do anything that needed to be done. That's why we're here now. Because, Ziggy was all about the dollar. Not Summer, not anything else, but about the dollar. She's still about the fucking dollar. One thing I do is I tell the truth. I tell the truth. I don't give a damn if it hurts or not. The truth hurts. It hurts. It is what it is. The truth hurts. Nobody likes the truth because the truth hurts. Nobody likes to hear the fucking truth. But I'm going to tell the truth. Because I have to tell the truth. My God don't allow me to say nothing else. Hey, people have their differences, right? But I find that all creators need to come together. We need to come together. The hate's got to stop. Absolutely, I built that channel. You got that right. You got that right. I got Ziggy thousands and thousands of views and thousands of dollars. But I'm here for Summer. I'm not here for the dollar. I'm not here for, to see or be seen. I'm here to put out the truth. Whether people like it, they don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sick of the fighting. I'm sick of, the hate. I'm sick of all of it. Absolutely all of it. And, I came in tonight for a little while to ask people to please stop this hate. Just stop it. This is about missing children, not about, who donated, who didn't donate. It's not about the dollar. I'm tired of it being made about the dollar. It's about Summer. Absolutely 100% about Summer. And I would appreciate it if, people would start, making it about these children instead of all this shit show of a fight. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking that, people please stop the hate, stop the bashing. Let's stop it. Let's all put our hands together, bow our heads down, and let's say a prayer for these babies that need our help. How can we help them if we're fighting amongst each other like a pack of wolves or dogs? How are we going to help them? How do I expect God to hear my prayers when, all I'm doing is evilness by attacking other people constantly or trying to keep people from attacking me? It's bullshit. Let's quit it. That's what I came in here for tonight. I came in here to say, please, let's just stop it. Let's stop it. Let's stop accusing people that had nothing to do with things. Let's start facing the truth, because the truth is what's going to bring this baby home. It's what's going to get this baby justice. We need to put the focus where the focus needs to be. That's 110 Ben Hill Road, where everyone's fled away from right now due to the fact they know that that's where law enforcement's staring at. Absolutely no Summer, no peace. But, like I said, I was trying to take a few days off. I need to get my house in order. End of the school year, and I homeschool. I don't, I got a lot of work to get done, and a lot of things to take care of. All right, a lot of us see Summer's eyes when we close our eyes. A lot of us do, and we all love this baby. We love her, and if you truly love her, you can't be fighting like this, None of us want to fight. None of us, really want to fight. We all really would like to get along. But getting along doesn't get click likes and views. Getting along don't get people to click likes and views. You got to have big shit shows to get the people, you know, running in and interested in everything you're saying. That's what gets the views. Is all this freaking hate. And if I gotta hate and dislike people and stay upset all the time, by attacking and getting attacked, I'm going to just turn my back like God will on people that want to live like that, and I'm going to walk away because it's not worth it to me. It's not. I don't want to come in here and be attacked or attacking people constantly. It's not the way I want to live, and it ain't the way I want my children to live. You know, I want to come in here and I want to get along and I want to talk about these children and what we can do to bring them home. That's what I want. That's what I want. I mean, I had to step back away from YouTube a little bit due to the fact that it was getting too crazy, and too sinful for me. And that's the God's honest truth. That is the God's honest truth. And I don't even be honest with you, I don't make enough to keep up my StreamYard, my apps and everything. I do most of this for free. And I don't ask nobody for $1 because I'm scared. I don't want nobody's dollars. I don't want nobody's dollars because I don't want someone giving me anything that they may need for their self and their family. That and I can't say that enough. I cannot say that enough. I say please keep your money. If you need it, keep it. I mean, I know that people love to support these channels and everything, and I'm not going to lie. The support does help. I'm raising 4 kids of my own. I don't have a lot to put into all of this, especially the man hours that I have put in. But I don't ask anyone for anything. And Ziggy's constantly asking people for stuff all the time. And then to attack Tiffany Marie over $1,500, it pisses me off. I'm sorry. Thank you, Priscilla. I so appreciate you helping. Yeah, drama sucks. It does. And I've had enough of it. I've had more than enough. I've had my share. And I don't think the reward fund, I don't think they should be allowed to do this. I don't think so. I think that should be private. I think if people donate, it shouldn't be public information, because nobody's donating for the glory or the praise, right? They're donating because they want to. And, they're doing what they do. It's not for no praise. I mean, even the Bible says, don't let your right hand know what the left one's doing, right? It means you're supposed to live with open hands. You're not supposed to, if you help somebody, if you brag about it and everything, then you get your reward on earth and not in heaven. If I do good deeds, I don't want the public knowing about it. I'd like for people not to say nothing. I mean, that's that's between me and God. Is that you, Tiffany?
It's me.
How you doing, girl?
Hey, how are you, Prayer Garden?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry it took me so long to come up. I was in the car and I was on my way home, but thanks for
Oh,
waiting.
girl, no
I
worry.
saw my name in your title, so thanks for having me up.
You're most welcome to come up. And I'm sorry that all this is going on with you, man. I really
Oh,
am.
don't. Sorry, I'm good. Honestly, I mean, it's not really a big deal at all to me because this. I mean,
It
it
is
wasn't
because,
for
we shouldn't be getting attacked all the time because we fight for summer. It's the harder we fight for summer, the more people want to attack us. And I don't understand that. And these are people that sign contracts for the whales.
Yep.
We didn't. We didn't. And why are we being attacked? Why are we being attacked? Is there, is there some reason they don't want summer found?
I wondered sometimes, certain people, I've wondered that, but I do think that when you add the element of YouTube to things, it can really muddy the waters only because there's so many opinions. I think it's honestly, I think it's the live chats is where all of the confusion really comes from. Because if you think about it, if it was just panels and if it was just, people talking, it would be
Right.
completely fine. But when you put in the mix all kinds of different people and all different, personalities, and you're going to have, craziness. But they've been saying that I didn't donate to the fundraiser since they actually did, not the fundraiser, to the reward fund since they did the fundraiser. So, even back when they were fundraising, they used to always say, Tiffany hasn't donated a dime. She's never donated a dime. And I let them say whatever they want. I always have.
You donated your time, Tiffany, that you won't ever get back, hon. That's time away from your child. That's time away from your family. That's time, you're not going to ever get that time back. And that time's worth way more than money will ever be worth. Because those are your memories. Those are your memories that, that's your life that you should be living. But you donated it to this missing little girl because you love her so much the same way I do. And, and that should be respected, not disrespected the way it's being disrespected, hon.
That was really nice of you to say. I appreciate that because I think that, me and you have kind of like had our ups and downs and whatnot, but I've seen you're rough around the edges, but you have you have a good heart. So it's kind of like I could be a bitch sometimes, but I could be a sweetheart sometimes. So same with, I think that's
Absolutely.
more so a lot of women are that way anyhow.
We are. And I say, I don't like to see anyone being picked on. You're right. I am
don't
rough.
either.
I'm very rough around the edges, but I don't like to see someone picked on that's fighting their ass off for summer the same way I am and getting so damn disrespected. You do not deserve that. And I think that, it just needs to stop. It needs to stop, especially from somebody like Ziggy that, has really made her feel off the back of summer. And signed a contract for the whales.
Sometimes.
And then she comes and attacks you because you are for summer 100%. And, she's with Benny as well. And Benny's all for the whales. And they're attacking you over Jody Sue as well, which I don't think Jody Sue done a damn thing to Summer, to be honest with you.
I don't think she hurt Summer
Absolutely
either.
Not. I think Jody Sue, she's rough around the edges as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Per Garden, you got a super chat from D Boss.
Yeah, I think I seen that go by. I'm sorry. I was going to go back and catch it. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, DeBoss, thank you. I so appreciate it, sweetheart. PG, we love you. Go get your kids some ice cream for an end of school year treat. No summer, no peace. Much love. Much love to you, girl. And thank you. My kids love ice cream. I appreciate that.
Do you have a Dairy Queen where you are, Per Garden?
Yeah, we do. We do have. I don't. know about a Dairy Queen. We do have a little ice cream shop down the
Okay.
road from us. That
I was actually going to stop there tonight, but I ended up driving right by. I have ice cream in the freezer. I always do, but
I'd like to say yes, but personally, to be honest with you, I don't know. I just
I
moved here.
eat ice cream every night almost.
Right. I just moved here and I have no idea where
Oh.
anything is, to be honest with you.
Oh, I didn't know that you moved.
Between my work and between working and my kids homeschooling and cleaning my house and cooking and my God. To be honest with you, here lately, I don't know if I've been coming or I'm going.
You have
And that's the
perfect.
truth.
And do you have young kids or like middle-aged kids or older? You don't have to say how old they are.
My kids, I homeschool, and my
Okay.
kids they're not so small that they're running through the house with Tommy Hawks and
Yeah.
you know, like they once did. But you know,
Yeah, mine's grown.
mine's still where they pop up on you, and you know, you're scared to death they're going to talk.
Oh, oh, my son sneaks up on me sometimes, and because he's, you know, so much taller than me now, he scared the shit out of me the other day. Oh my God, he almost gave me a heart attack. I had just opened my door, and
well, I worry about the lies because
he came right up behind me. He was coming down the stairs, and I felt like someone was behind me, and I turned around and he was right there, and I had no idea he was so quiet. I thought someone came in the door behind me, scared the crap out of me.
Oh my God. I guess that would. Absolutely. That would scare the shit out of you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But somebody had asked, I did not show that today because I wanted to, you know, just out of nowhere, out of the blue. I showed the check because of a post that was made overnight, and it was made by Molly. And she had said, let me find the exact, I'll read it to you so you understand why I actually shared it. It wasn't because I just wanted to share it. I actually have never even talked about it, and I've kept to myself. I don't feel that I need to tell people anything. It's nobody's business what you donate anywhere. But the post said, where is it now? Let's see. She had made a community post, and it says, she was talking about, you know, do you know the woman that had made fun of the milk jugs?
Yes.
Okay. So she was talking about that. So it was like a mixed kind of statement. This should never be tolerated. Shame on you two. You belong together, miserable losers in life. She was talking about me and AB. By the way, Tiffers, show your canceled check of the donation you gave to the summer reward. It doesn't exist, but you sure went after Q Carlock for receipts. She was the real deal. You made more money than all of us, aside from the interview room. Oh, but wait, he actually got up off his rear and went to Rogersville and Kingsport. Shame on you. You are a fraud. So that is why I shared the check. When I shared the check, I didn't think people were going to attack me for donating to the reward fund. So
they're saying you didn't.
I know they are. I know.
It's fine. This Ziggy was showing this check. Then they were showing this.
Yeah.
Where there is no 1,500 donated.
Hold on.
Why, I mean, yeah. Chris, I'm sure that you do get attacked a lot in the situation that you're in. I'm sorry for that too. It's just people love to hate. I don't know what the problem is, but people love to hate, and I don't understand it because it's much better to have friends than it is to have foes, right? It's always better. I lost Tiffany. Um, it's always best to have friends instead of enemies. You know, it's always when we're looking for missing children. I lost you for a minute there, girl.
It's my fault because I was running to get my charger to plug my PC in, and by the time I came back, it was already off, and I was like, shit.
I do that all the time.
I
I do that all the time. And a lot of times I'll have stuff up that I really, put a lot of work into doing. And then it's like all gone. Have you ever lost things like that? And it's like,
No, I usually
oh,
don't because
I
I
forget to
always
save. I forget to save it. And oh my gosh. I mean, I've been in tears because I didn't save it.
oh shit,
And
no, I usually have it plugged in. Actually, it was in my living room, and I usually have it in my dining room. So it hit 10%, and it was gone by the time I came running back in. So anyhow, no, I've never lost anything important, but I just joined on my phone because it's not even started back up. But anyway, well, oh, do you have that up still? The check?
yeah, I'll pull it back up for you.
You can.
There you go.
Yeah, so I shared that this morning, very early. So I had woken up and I got a message from a friend, a really good friend actually, who I haven't heard from in quite a while. So when I read it, she had made me aware that there was a community post, and the second I saw it, I logged into my banking app and I went and I grabbed it, and I just redacted all of the information that I needed to, and I put that out. But apparently it ruffled some feathers, and I don't understand why, but it is what it is. People would rather I didn't give money. So I don't know if they're angry with me because they don't want to see that I've done something good, or if they're just
So,
miserable or what.
so you did donate this money.
Yes, last year.
Then how come it wasn't on here?
I don't know, but I am going to call Civis Bank in the morning. I just talked to Carl in Janta Life Path. I spoke with him through email, and we had a little conversation earlier this evening. And I'm going to call them in the morning and find out if maybe they didn't add it or made an error or something, or if it was already added into one of those. So there was a list of donations. Did you see that Ziggy had showed that WJHL had put out?
Right.
It was a while ago. Did you see all of the amounts, different amounts?
I think I did.
Yeah, so there was a whole bunch of different amounts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you think they combined it into the 25? Well,
I don't know. I don't know if they did or not, but I would like to call them in the morning to ask. But the only one that would make sense is the one, I think it's September 7th. It said $2,000. I don't know if there was, if that would be, but I had written my check after. So I don't know if when they put that out, how they construct that list or whatever, if they just stuck it wherever, or if it's not included in that or what. But I am going to call them in the morning and find out.
And that's the one thing I do know about bank statements is that you can put something in the bank and it will have, you can put something in as of today, the 7th. And the thing is on your bank statement, it'll have the 12th or the 14th or whenever,
Mm-hmm.
So it that does happen. That very much does happen.
Well, I was wondering if maybe they stuck it
and
on
this
the
is a
one for the
reward
7th.
fund. This is a reward fund, and they may have combined it, a bunch of money that came in into one lump sum as well.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If they
But
did or
I would
not.
tell them that, I'm having hell and havoc, and I personally put mine in on this particular date, and you don't know who put this thing out, but you would surely like for them to go back and put this out again with yours on it, so people know, they quit hound dogging you over it, because it's not righteous. It's not righteous at all. And if it's a hindsight of the banks where, they somehow overlooked it because they were getting so much coming in,
Mhm.
they overlooked yours, then
I
they
don't
need
think
to.
that it was that way though, because I don't, in my opinion, there wasn't a lot coming in per garden. Think about how much money so many of these missing kids get in their reward funds. Summer did not get a lot of money in her reward fund.
Well,
She
you
really
had
didn't.
Donald and Benny Keys. Well, Benny Keys was advocating for Donald and Candace Wells to not up the reward fund, if you remember right.
I do remember, yeah.
Absolutely.
Annabella, they won't give receipts to out of state people. It's only
And
walk ins, local walk
and
ins.
why would they not want? Why would they not want the reward fund going up? Well, the
Great
only thing
question.
I could think of is they didn't want people going back and checking their camera systems, and they didn't want people fighting to try to find information, because, when you do something to a child and then you hide the evidence, you try to cover it up, and no matter how hard you try, somewhere there's a trail of where you went and what you did. I mean, what I'm saying is you had to go by some gas station or some place that had a camera system. This is 2022, right?
Mhm.
Well, it's 2021 at that time. But what I'm saying is camera systems are everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And people, people may not want to look over everything for 25, 30,000, but when that reward fund goes up to 70, 80, 90, 100, that initiates people to start looking on their camera systems, right?
Mhm.
It
Yep.
starts initiating people to go back to June 15th and start racking their brain a little bit about the whole day and what went on that day.
Well, that's been
So,
my question with all the cameras that we have everywhere. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. I mean, you like to think that in your own neighborhood that something like that would never happen. I'll tell you right
right.
now, when even the smallest thing happens around here, we all have cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, there would be there would be no missing child here because we all have cameras. There's no way a child could disappear from my neighborhood without cameras catching something. And I'm I'm shocked. I
Right.
don't understand how in this day and age.
A car can't even go down my road without me seeing it.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
Yeah.
your camera system could be turned on inside your home all day long. I
Mhm.
mean, where you see everything, everyone's house, every car, every child, every adult, everyone that comes anywhere near your home. Um, it just
Uh,
is what it is.
Justice for all. Can I ask what you're so worked up about in the chat? I truly, to be honest with you, I don't owe anything to anybody. I only
No,
showed
you
what I
don't.
did because
Your bank
what?
account is your personal business.
That's
And
right.
no, you absolutely do not owe anybody. Our personal, that's what I'm trying to say, is they're trying to drag the creators, the people that's spending these man hours
Yep.
on these children. We love these children. And we are spending all of this time. We're taking time away from everything in order to do what we're doing.
Mhm.
And instead of it being respected, now they're trying to make our personal lives real life stuff, and that's wrong. It's wrong to, our bank accounts ain't nobody's business.
That's right.
How we live and where we live and what our real names are, that's nobody's business. What is people's business is that we're doing a damn good job at what we're doing for these
Mhm.
children, right?
Yep, absolutely. And he says, you made the live, not me. I sure did. And I don't owe you a damn thing, Justice for All. You need to know that. You need to know that. I could never talk about it again, and you're going to have to deal with it That's just the fact of the matter. I owe you nothing. In fact, we still haven't seen receipts from the very people who took money, not donated
Justice,
money.
Justice, if you want, you can take the link.
You're
Everyone's
welcome to
welcome to
come.
come panel here.
Yeah.
You can take the link and come up if you'd like to, and and speak with Tiffany.
He's
And what
welcome
I'm
to
trying to
come.
say is, we all need to get along. We're all working for one cause, and it's the same cause, right? For these missing little children,
I hope
and
so.
and we need to, we love these children, and we want to bring these children home. We want to bring these children home. And like I said, I'm not going to go at Tiffany because I watched her bust her ass from day one. From day one, I've watched her bust her ass for Summer. And she hasn't gave Candace and Donald and Grandis any, slack when it comes to what the fuck they did. Absolutely not. And she's really worked to you know get all the information she could gather on this case to help any way she could to get Summer home. And
That's right.
that's what I'm doing. That's what everybody's supposed to be doing. And we got to stop the hate. We've got to, we've got to stop. It's not worth it. There is no amount of money worth going through the hell and the misery that sometimes we get put through. Do you agree, Tiffany?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think people understand how bad this can get on our nervous systems, because we do love these children. We absolutely love these children, and we are busting our asses. We are busting our asses to do everything we can to keep them in the spotlight and get them found and brought home. We are keeping a fire under the law enforcement's backsides, not just in Summer's case, but a lot of missing children's cases.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing all we can. And all we want is just to be loved and respected. That's it. That's it. How hard is that to do?
Well, for some it's very hard, and I find it to be very insulting that somebody who came into this community in January has the nerve to sit in a chat.
I'm bringing you up, Debbie.
Berate me and badger me. I have no idea who some people think they are, but I guess they think there's something else. I'm gonna come back on my computer, Per Garden, because
I give you credit for being strong the way you are and being able to withstand all the bullshit that goes along with what we do. I give you credit for that, girl. God bless you.
Credit to Per Garden. I don't want to ever, have any kind of hatred toward you or anything like that. I know we got in an argument one time, a long time ago.
That's bygone.
Hold on, I'm coming back on my PC. I'm coming into the studio on my other one. Hold on one sec.
Okay, sweetie.
Hi, PG.
How you doing, Debbie?
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good, girl. God bless you.
God bless you too.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, girl, I'm glad to hear that.
I have a question for Tiffany when she comes back.
I'm here.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi.
I just want to start by saying that I watch you all the time, and you may not know me, but I've spoken to you in chats a couple times. I've been on your panel a couple times. But I'm always there, and I'm always at prayer gardens too. And I just want you to remember yesterday afternoon, I believe it was, the live that you had, the way that it ended with all the mothers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That brought you down to earth and made you realize, what matters and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, why on earth did you not ignore Molly's post?
Well, I will be honest with you. Molly's post was actually probably, you know what? It might be because it was the middle of the night when I had gone to bed really early last night. And when
Yeah.
I woke up and I saw it, Molly knows that I donated because I had told her that I did. So she knew. And I think she did it purposely to trigger me, right? And it
Yeah.
did. So, I thought about that live today after all of this. And I
Yeah.
said, I shouldn't really even have responded to her. But then I also say to myself, why shouldn't I? Like, why shouldn't I be able to respond? And why shouldn't I be able to show? At least I showed the check. I mean, we've got 4 creators who fundraised in this community and collected people's money and never showed a single receipt for what was taken in. They showed
That's
what
true.
they donated, but they never showed what was collected. And here they
That's
are
true.
telling
That's
me
true.
that I need to, like it's really insane. And it's enough to make your head spin around, like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? Like, so when I showed that this morning, it was basically just to say, shut up, done and over with it, right? It wasn't for, people are like, oh, if you donate, you don't need to tell anybody. Listen, that was last September. This is
Yep.
old to me, long
Yep.
done. So for anybody to say, you need to show this, you need to show your bank statement. They wanted me to show the back of the check. The back of the check has a lot of information on it. They're out of their mind. I am not doing that. But what bothered me the most was one particular person over and over and over again demanding that I show my bank statement and the back of that check. And it kind of made me feel really uncomfortable because for me, that's crossing the line. I would never ask someone to even show a check. They're lucky I even showed what I did, but I didn't show it for the community. I showed it because of the community post that was made. And that's it. But you brought up a really good point, and I wish that I could share what had happened after my live yesterday, because it was really humbling. And one of the women who was in my chat yesterday, I don't know how that happened, and I don't know where and how. I just felt like the earth moved under my feet during that live yesterday. It was very nothing like that has ever happened to me before when I was live. I was a little bit scared, to be honest with you. And like for the first time ever, I felt like a lot of pressure was on me because it was a lot of responsibility to read out those comments. And I felt like I couldn't do enough justice to what they were writing to me. And
you did fine. You did absolutely fine. I mean, that you didn't need, and there was nothing else you needed to do but be there for them. That's all.
I just don't understand how so many moms of children that had passed away ended up in my chat at the same time. It moved me to tears. I bawled my eyes out yesterday afternoon. I had like a really emotional couple minutes, and it really meant a lot to me. And one particular person that reached out to me shared something that was just so sacred, and I'll never forget. I'll never ever ever forget what this woman shared with me. And I felt really blessed to even just get the message that I did yesterday. And it did knock me back down a lot. It knocked me down back to earth and kind of shakes you awake and
makes you realize what's important and what's not.
It does. It really does. So yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't have even responded to her. She doesn't deserve a response from me.
That's right.
In fact, I don't even know why I did respond because I haven't responded in so long and I haven't watched her in so long.
Yeah, and
But
especially something so personal, like you said, you would never ask to see
no,
somebody's checking account or
never.
whatnot. So,
Mm-mm.
and it's nobody's business whether you donate it or not.
It's
It
not.
doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And why is this old issue being brought up now?
I don't
I
know.
don't
Great
get it.
question. It was odd. I mean, to really think about why she would write that at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then uh, immediately after I responded, because I went live, right? I fired up a live right away. I took the
Yeah.
screenshot in my app. I went live. I showed it. I stayed live for 45 minutes. And immediately after, Ziggy went live at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then Benny was calling my house at 5 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
it just felt very planned. And it was
Ambush.
weird. It was just
Ambush.
weird. Huh?
It sounded ambushy.
Yeah, well, it was surely an ambush, but I can handle it. I'm not really worried about that, but it's just so rude. And people really do have balls of steel on here. They think that they're owed something by you. And the fact of the matter is they're not. They're not at all.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Prayer card in this. I'm going to say this, and I want this for you and Tiffany, but the chat probably might get a little mad at me. But every single word that Ziggy said is true of her, not you.
I
You understand?
absolutely agree with you. I
Thank
could
you.
not agree with you more.
Every word she said, it was like she was describing herself to a
I
T.
agree.
To a T.
Fully agree. I agree with
PG,
you.
did you happen to hear Ziggy's rant?
Did I?
No, PG. I don't know. I think we lost her. She fell
Oh, she
asleep.
might have walked away real quick, maybe. I played some of it today. It took me a long time to get through it actually, but I didn't even listen. I listened to about an hour of it, but she stayed live for about 6 hours. She really was triggered by donation. I wonder if I don't know if it was someone else, would she have reacted that way, or is it just because it's me? I don't know.
I don't know.
I heard Ziggy's rant,
You
Yeah.
and it
did?
did not sit well with me due to the simple fact that her and Benny Keith both signed that contract. They both signed that contract. They're attacking Tiffany because Tiffany's 100% for Summer. Benny and they've been on Jody Sue, attacking Jody Sue as well. And this is going to be far-fetched out there for everybody tonight because everybody knows, I don't personally back Jody Sue at all. Me and Jody Sue's got our differences, put it that way. But the point being is we have Summer Wells missing in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That is put inside of a home. Don't tell me that Candace and Grandis don't know what the fuck happened to this baby in 2 damn minutes, because they sure the hell do. And Benny Keith and Ziggy and them signed this contract along with Cam and them. And it seems like anybody that fights like hell for Summer and loves Summer and wants to bring Summer home and talk about nothing but Summer gets attacked by these people. And I'm damn tired of it. I'm damn tired of it. You know what, you motherfuckers? Bring that contract out here and let us see what the fuck it says. That's what you need to do.
Oh, I have it. Do you want to know what it says? Because I have the non-disclosure.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Really? Okay. Let me see if I can find it right now. Katie, I sent that certified mail. So I don't know where the receipt is right now, but I have my I sent that certified mail. I would never send I would never send a check like that without certified mailing it. So you don't need to worry. Okay. Let me see if I can find that non-disclosure. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, here you go. Cam, you promised. You promised to send that contract over here to PG, right? You didn't ever send me nothing. But you know, you had Tim Mullins there saying, sign it up. And a greedy little feller was sitting there looking at you while you did. And I know there ain't something, there's got to be nothing good in this damn thing for them wanting it signed, right? It was you know what you signed? You signed something saying you kissed the whale's ass and you wouldn't talk about their daughter unless you got their permission to talk. And it was okay with them to say whatever they wanted you to say, so that the truth of what really happened on 110 Ben Hill Road would be covered over, just like they covered over whatever happened on June the 15th, 2021, right? And that is my fucking opinion. Absolutely. And you guys agreed to keep it in the closet.
Trying to remember around.
Keep Summer in the dark. And that's
So-
what you're trying to do.
And you're talking to Cam?
I'm talking to Cam. I'm talking to Allie. I'm talking to every one of them pieces of shit that signed that contract. They signed a contract
I'm
with the
really
devil, right?
shocked by Cam.
I'm not shocked at all. You
As
know,
of
there's a
recent-
difference between actually worshiping God and using God. You know, some
Well, I
people
told him he
use
really needs to go to church.
absolutely. A lot of people use God to slide their foot through your door and then stab you in the back like the devil, right? And then there's other people that actually worship God, right? And they love God and they look to God for everything because they respect God, you know, and that's the type of person you need to be, not the other type.
You know, it's crazy to me because now I have no room to talk when it comes to going to church, but I'm shocked by those who preach. You know, they preach the word of God and they act like they're so godly. And
I'm going to tell you, hon, we're all
you
made out
know.
of dirt. We're made out of nothing but dirt. And you know what? We're going to all get judged by the same two people. Well, actually three. We're going to all be judged by God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, right? Whether we were right or we were wrong, we're going to either end up in heaven or hell. And that's just the way it is. And there's none of us are any better than the other. We're none better than the other. We should all love one another, care about one another, and work together to make our country a better place for who? Everyone, not someone, right?
I'm going to find this non-disclosure for you, and I will I could even share it on my screen when I get it. I just need to find wherever it is. Is Christopher Larson still here? Chris, if you're listening, I wanted to say hello to you. And I was just going through my photos and I found a picture of Rose here, a couple of them. And I just came across her photos and I don't know if you're still here, but I'm sending you lots of love, Chris. I hope you're doing all right and your girls are doing all right.
Amen.
I think about them very much.
I appreciate you saying that to him.
Oh yeah,
really
we really like Chris.
Yeah, and you know him and his daughters didn't deserve all of that thing
No.
about, you know, that went on back a little while ago.
Oh, I was beside myself when that happened.
Oh, I was livid as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember seeing you.
Oh yeah, I even called the girl's mother that they were trying to say was Rose. I called this lady, talked to her. Yes, I did. And I even played it on recording for everyone to hear. And they still act like, oh, you know, like your check, it was a fraud. No, it wasn't. It was real. They just hated me bringing out the damn truth because they wanted everyone to believe a lie and be damned for their click, likes, and views, right?
I didn't know. I missed that part, and I didn't know that.
A lot. Mm-hmm. She got a lot of click views.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I'm for the truth, 100% for the truth and nothing but the damn truth, because that's all that's going to bring this baby home to us. It's always going to bring any baby home to us, and it's the only thing that's going to get real justice.
Yeah, I don't think we know 10% of what the truth is. Just bits and pieces.
I think we know. I think we know in 2 minutes who the culprit was, right? Especially when the baby went into a house.
Yeah.
We know who the hell the real culprits are.
Yeah, but I've told
we ain't that stupid.
I've told you before, Prayer Garden, I call that the story because I don't believe one word of it.
I agree.
I believe that something else completely different happened and they concocted a story.
And, even if it did, they still have 100% knowledge of what the hell happened to that baby.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
I think so too.
I do. I honestly do. And, and this, you see, that's what I'm saying. We as creators can come together. We can, come together for these children. Until tonight, me and Tiffany didn't understand how much, we both agreed upon the Summer case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we were at different ends of the earth, but we were really a lot closer.
Yeah.
I really
than we realized.
What you said was, because I know that you've had some opinions about Jody, right? And
Right.
I went through that a long time ago. A lot of people be like, oh, but I went through all those emotions long ago. And some people who are new don't realize Jody's been around a long time. I asked a lot of these questions back in the day, but there's a difference between asking questions and having opinions and a complete attack on a family, and what's
Precisely
too far. It's just gone too far.
Yeah, well,
how could somebody,
it took me a long time. I mean, it took me a while, of listening to Jody Sue and trying to understand her. I mean, she is a very complex person, right? And
complex. Yeah, I would say she's a little complex. Yeah, because it's a lot to understand. You have to really listen to her. She has a lot of names, a lot of catchphrases. So you have to kind of know her language too.
Exactly. And, it took me a long time to figure out that, I think she really wants to help. I think she could help a lot more in this case if she could focus on Don and Candace and across that road more than focusing on Andy and and her own. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about this? Because I wonder how much more Jody would be able to focus on that stuff if these people were not lashing out the way that they are. How is she going to focus on anything with constantly having to, every day it's like a game of
I know.
ping-pong
I know.
all day long.
I totally understand. I do.
So that's where I'm like, damn.
I totally understand. But Jody Sue though has said some incriminating things that, has brought a lot of this speculation, suspicion upon her own self and her family. And, and I asked myself, why would she, why did she do this? And why did she do that? I mean, being in there and talking to Donald and Candace and Grandis for 10 months, I know I have to say, in my opinion, to protect myself. But what I'm saying is, I know who is guilty. I mean, I know who has guilt wrote all over their ass, and it ain't Jody Sue, her son, or them. It's Don, Candace, and Grandis. I know Donald knows something, the way he wanted to bury his own daughter, even if he had to look like a sicko on the Utah case to do it with.
I don't understand how if somebody were guilty of anything that happened that day, why would they constantly show themselves and talk in public every single day.
If Jody Sue or her son or Andy really had anything to do with anything in the Summer Wells case, she wouldn't be out here talking as
No,
much as
no
she's
way.
talking. Absolutely not. We know who the hell's hiding, right? Candace and
Mhm.
Grandis. And poor Donald's in jail, but it's countdown, right?
Poor
He
Donald's in jail.
one more month, Donald's out. Free,
I
he'll be
know.
a free bird, right? And he'll be singing again. Trust and believe me.
Per Garden, where do you think he's well, I guess the question would be, do you think he's going to come back onto social media and speak, or do you think he's going to stay away?
I think he's coming right back on it.
You do? Where do you think
I
he's
know-
going to go first?
I know Donald, and I know he's coming right back out here, probably to haunt my ass.
Not yours.
Yeah, really. That's a good question. Where would he go? He alienated everybody. Where would he go now?
He'll come right
Well,
here.
a lot of people tossed Don to the side as well, though, and
I'm bringing you up,
they
Wisconsin mama.
they weren't thinking in the moment,
Donald, as soon as Donald's out and he's able to get back on social media, I'm telling you now, you'll see him here giving me hell. You'll see him at Benny's. You'll see him. Actually, you're going to see him everywhere.
think he'll go to Benny's.
Donald needs to be here. He needs to talk. He's got a need. He's got a need. Do I think he had anything to do with what happened to his daughter June the 15th, 2021? Absolutely fucking not. Do I think he knows what happened? Absolutely, I do. Do I think that he got put through hell, a tear that he wasn't ready to be put through to try to save the rest of his family from that tear? Absolutely. Do I think that does he really want the truth to be known? I do believe he does. He just made a bad decision at a drop of a hat when he didn't have time to really think about it. And yes, he's going to be back.
In a heartbeat. Hello, PG.
How you doing, girl?
Oh, I have missed you. I'm
Much love to
telling
you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
So, I was over on Jody Sue's panel the other night, or on her channel, because it was open discussion. You could ask any question, and all I said was, and I was respectful, and I said, in your opinion, do you think Donald had anything to do with Summer's missing? And she says, you know how she does that? She goes, I really don't know. Well, then all of a sudden down the chat, they're all like, oh, we got one of PG's monkeys is trolling around in here. And I said, I am being respectful. I just asked a question, and I got blocked.
Well, and I can't blame I can't blame Jody Sue for that, because I have been super hard on Jody Sue and her family due to her own accusations. Her own accusations, and I don't think I really I've had a few days to step back away from all of this, re-examine everything, and to come back with a fresh pair of eyes. And like Debbie said, if Jody Sue had anything to do with this, she would not have been out here the way she's been here this whole entire time. Absolutely not. She'd have been trying to hide her son or whoever along with her. No, no. I don't believe that. I believe that, the coppers are right where we always thought they were, on 110 Ben Hill Road. Well, they ain't there now, right? Candace and Grandis are hiding. They hid from day one. Candace came out. She fucked everything up. She didn't even want to talk about her daughter. I'm going to tell you something. I like to check history when I'm dealing with people. And down through history, when people do something as evil as what we assume they did to their daughter, or anything really evil, it's always the same scenario. they try to hide, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Jody Sue ain't hiding. She's right out here for everybody to see constantly.
Right. And then in the beginning, she was like all about.
Hell, she ain't even hiding her kids. She's on there talking to her son. She's on there talking to her daughter. Her daughter's talking to everybody. She ain't hiding nothing.
Well, no, but she made accusations that, her kids are in danger and she's in danger. And,
well, yeah.
If you're.
She is. She's not lying. She is. She lives right across the street. She had cameras, or cameras, footage or whatever that Donald and them think she might have. They might think she still has it. She is in danger. She may have turned stuff over to TBI and them that we have no fucking idea she done.
Yeah.
I do worry that people are taking it too far, and a lot of the things that come out of people's mouths, they don't realize how dangerous these things are to say about her.
They know they don't understand how real YouTube can get.
Yeah, they're crazy people out here. You don't know who's
girl.
listening.
Oh, yeah. I've got stalkers.
I have found that out.
I have stalkers. I'm sure you've got stalkers. I mean,
oh God.
I got people calling my phone so much saying the most horrible things. And they even say stuff about your children that you don't even want to think about. Yeah. And I don't even answer my phone anymore.
Well, I'm going to have to change my phone number. I've got Benny calling my house on the daily. So I actually was going to call today. I didn't have time to.
And and that's what
number.
people don't understand. That's the life we live, changing our numbers, not answering our phones. I mean, I used to have a life where I'd jump in my vehicle and be flying down the road and ring, and I hit the speakerphone. Hey, what's up? Hey, sissy, what you doing? This. I'm doing great, man. How about you? Why didn't you show up to the cookout or the party? I'm coming. What I'm saying is it's great freaking life, right? Now my phone rings while I'm in my vehicle and I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want my children hearing none of this shit. And I won't even answer it. Mom, ain't you going to answer the phone? Mom, ain't you going to answer the phone? No, I'm not. Why? Mm-hmm. Your kid, sit back there and be in a child's place.
Is somebody bothering you, Prayer Garden?
Yeah, I've got some real nuts calling me.
You do?
Absolutely. I played them live right here on this panel.
They're not threatening you real bad, are they?
Threatening me, threatening my children, they threaten everything. I had one even say they were outside my window.
What?
Yep. I took a gun out there to see where the hell they was. I couldn't find them.
Oh my God. When did that happen?
I don't know. That was a few months ago. It was right here on this live, and I was like, I have to be honest with you. I've called them back. I called them back and asked them, where the hell are you? I've got something silver waiting on you. I'm sorry it ain't gold.
Give it to him. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm no fucking coward. You want to be outside my house, I'll come see you. Absolutely, I'll come see you. I got no trespassing sign. Stick that foot on my lawn. It belongs to me now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Tiffany, I don't know you, and I've never listened to your channel. Sorry, but I don't do a lot of YouTube. But it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what you do with your money, where you put your money.
Absolutely.
You could put it under a rock, and nobody should care about it. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's business. It is nobody's
especially business. Her damn checking account and her routing numbers and all of her stuff.
Yeah, they're not getting that from me.
Absolutely. It's nobody's business. And this is so out of control on YouTube. I mean, it's one is against each other. I mean, so many people are against each other, and it's just like, I used to come here and enjoy watching it. Now it's just like, This one's
Yeah,
after
I'm done
this
with
one,
the
and
hate.
this one's after this one, and it just doesn't end. You know.
All I know is Ziggy went batshit crazy 4 o'clock in the morning, and man, she didn't stop till God knows when.
And what was she on?
And you know all about Tiffany's bank account and shit, and I'm like, no, I will not back that kind of bullshit up any way, form, or how will I do that? You know, absolutely not. And you know, it got me thinking how much, you know, I've watched Tiffany and I've watched her fight her ass off for Little Summer. I mean, before I even ever hit YouTube, I would watch her and BK, and you know, she was always for Summer. I mean, and she didn't always go along with BK and everything BK said, because I've seen a lot of times she didn't. And I'm telling you, she busted her ass for that baby. And while Ziggy was having shit shows and money flying in and really didn't care if Summer truth got out there or not, Tiffany was busting ass to get it out there. And I respected that.
Thank you for your pardon.
You're most welcome, girl.
It seems to me that Ziggy has absolutely no content except to either bash somebody or talk to her chat or dry bag or e-bag, whatever you want to call it.
Dry bag.
Just bag. That's what it is.
You know what though, Debbie? You're right. But you're right. Because there was another channel last night that was up and they were putting things on there. I mean, like they were looking up somebody's son on Facebook and putting his name out there. I'm like, what are you people doing? You know, it's because they don't have any content.
Absolutely.
You know,
they have none.
They are running out of content.
They have none. And you know, my kids I've been out off here for like 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days I've been off of here getting work together, getting, you know, because my kids have to go to this next grade level as well. And not to mention when you homeschool, there's shit everywhere. You got to pack it up and get it put away. And next year's supply is a lot cheaper now than it was at the beginning of school, right? So I go out and make sure I get everything in that I need for next year. But at the bottom of it all, I have my children asking me, you know, ain't you going live? Ain't you going live? I said, no, I got things to do. We got things to get done, you know. And, you know, my kids are worried about Summer as well. You know, you got to keep her in the spotlight. Mom, you got to keep her in the spotlight. And, you know, I understand, you know, all of these things. But I even have children that love this little girl so much. You know, they're willing to give my time over to her instead of being with them, you know? And my kids, you know, my kids ain't you think they wouldn't, like before, right now, you know, right now we would be going for a ride, just, you know, a nice summer night drive, you know, looking around and stuff, because like I said, you know, where we live is new. We don't know everything about where we're at. And so we go out, you know, and kind of exploring, and it's fun. And then we come home, you know, we might get a dish of ice cream or something, sit down, kick back. It's the end of the school year. They get to stay up a little bit later. We, you know, watch a movie, half of them fall to sleep, you know, and you have to, well, now I got to walk them off the bed, you know, before I could carry them, but that shit ain't happening. But yeah, you know, you're spending time with the people you love. And when the people I love this little girl as much as I do, man, that can bring tears to your eyes, you know? It can bring tears to your eyes, and it makes you realize how important it is to keep this little girl in the spotlight and not to be fighting over dumb shit. Right. And especially trying to put somebody's personal bank account out here on display. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It
is.
I mean, let me see. Do we all need to be reminded, every YouTube creator, do you need to be reminded what this is about? This is about Summer Moon Utah Wells. This is not about a check. This is not about
No,
anybody's money.
no. And
Go
it's
back to
not
why
just
you
about,
created the
it's
channel.
not just about Summer either. It's about Monkey. It's
Yes.
about, all of these missing children, every last one of these missing babies. I do 150% Summer because, that's what I came in here for. But, I see a lot of other creators doing Monkey. I see them doing, like the little girl in Kentucky. Um, I can't even remember her name. I should. Selena. I want to call her Selena, but that ain't it. But anyway, Serenity. It's
Oh,
Serenity.
Serenity
Yeah.
Right.
McKinney. Yes.
Yeah. I followed her to the T. And oh God, I loved that little girl. And what happened to her was so horrible. And and behind the scenes, I'm going to make sure those people get what they deserve. I think the court should make a fucking example out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's our job to make sure that these children get the justice that they deserve. It's our job to, keep them in the light and to make sure that they are found and they are brought home to us. And this is our job. You
Yeah.
This is
why
what we're
you're here.
supposed to be doing, not arguing or carrying on with one another or forcing one another to, bring out their private life. People's private lives ain't none of our damn business.
Yeah. I agree 100%. But they don't seem to agree.
Well,
I mean, all you can do is what you can do.
Tiffany needs to tell them the same thing that PG tells them. Kiss my fucking ass. Kiss my fucking ass. I don't have to prove shit to nobody.
Exactly.
My personal life is nobody's business as long as I'm doing God's work and helping these children be found. And as long as God's okay with who I am at the end of the day, then I'm okay with who I am as well. I don't need anyone else's approval, right?
Right. No. And do you remember PG when I said that I wanted to write a book? Remember that?
Absolutely.
And do you remember what I said? I said that all the proceeds from the book would go into a scholarship in Summer's name.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, people are like making money off a dead baby. Well, first of all, you don't know she's dead. And I'm not making the money off in Summer. That money is going to go and help other children go to school, go to college.
Here's what I want to tell law enforcement down there in Tennessee. What I want to tell law enforcement in Tennessee is, if you think she's out there in those fucking woods, or that's the bullshit you're going to try to pull on us, then you better get your asses out there and find her, right?
Right.
We want Summer home. We don't know where she is, but God does. But we do know she's someplace. And we know it's our law's job to find her, right? And they better be doing their damn job.
Yep. I'll tell you, I just like to take a drive down there and give them one swift kick in the ass and tell them to get moving on this.
And another thing is Tiffany has also, I'm sure she has called TBI. I'm sure she has called law enforcement. I'm sure she has gave a lot of information to do as much as she could to help Summer as well as any of the rest of us have done. I am positive.
Yeah, I've had to call TBI several times, but I've always been really careful with that. I've never try to mess around with bothering them because I take it very seriously. I don't want to ever waste their time. But yeah, there's been several times that I had to call, but it was important,
Exactly. And that's the only time you do call, is when it is very, very important. And
Mhm.
I wish I would have called more at the beginning of everything, you know,
You do.
and reported a lot more. What I'm saying is, I wish I would have,
It's never too late, Prayer Garden. If there's
I
anything,
wish I would have reported things more quickly than using, I wish I would have understood how important it was to report things faster than what I done. I mean, I did report everything, I think in a pretty timely fashion, except I still go back to when Donald, was at work and that coworker came in and said the place smelled like death. I thought it was him stinking because people said that, they bathed in sewer water, and I was kind of embarrassed for him. But then after I started thinking about it, where you could put a body and stuff, I
yeah.
asked him. I mean, a few days had passed, but I asked him if they had sewer water, and he said no. And that's when I called into TBI, because I'm like, well, it couldn't have been him if he ain't bathing in sewer water. But I wish I'd have called the same day the coworker had said something. I mean, I often feel so damn bad that I was so stupid,
Well,
Well,
you know,
Prayer Garden, you did call. You just didn't call that day.
Right.
So when you called, you told them what day it was, right? So they had to have known where he was that day.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure that they followed through with what you told them, I would imagine.
I called back with some other information I had, and I asked them about, because that was on my mind, and I did feel so bad, and they did say they were checking into it.
Okay.
They gave me that peace of mind because, I guess they knew how bad I felt as well,
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, if you got information, it's a lesson learned to me. If I have any information, turn it over ASAP. Do not wait.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have regrets then? Like you have a regret that you do you
Didn't
know
turn it in
why
immediately.
when you look back, do you think you can pinpoint the reason why you didn't? Do you think that maybe it was
Yeah,
because you
I
didn't
think
want to?
it's because I think it was because True and them were saying that they were bathing in sewer water, and
Okay.
I just assumed they stunk anyway, like death.
Okay.
And I'm sure that smells like hell, sewer water. I'm sure it smells. Well, if you go to a place where a busted sewer, it smells like a giant fucking fart, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I
She's in
just,
Italy, guys.
I
Sorry.
just thought, I just thought, I just thought it was Donald. I'm sorry, but I did, and you know, and I wish I would have been that stupid. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, you're
I
not.
mean,
Well, I wonder how many leads total they've gotten in almost a year. And I wonder if they followed them all. And I wonder if they dismiss any YouTuber leads.
Well, you know what? I
well, I
hate to
didn't
say
like
this,
the
but I
fact that,
wonder.
he came up on Ziggy's panel and he said, "What are you trying to do, sissy? Put me in jail?"
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. I listened
Because
to
I
it.
was telling on him about, what happened at his work. And I was telling on him about the caves in back of his house. He lied to me. He told me that Echo Search was putting drones through those caves to make sure Summer wasn't there, and they hadn't put no drones through them caves at all.
Well, I just wonder how many, and this isn't including you or anybody on chat, but I'm just wondering how many YouTubers really want her found.
And if you took note, a horse got loose that day running the road.
Yep.
And sometimes you need a horse to get up to them caves.
Are you talking about when they had the presser, the horse that got loose?
Yeah.
Right.
That was the day that
Well, that was
happened.
2 days
phone?
later, wasn't it? That was 2
I
days
think
after.
I think Pergurden is saying that was the day that happened on the phone call. Is that what you mean? Or no? Did I misunderstand?
No. The day the horse came up, the day the horse was found on the road, Donald had told me that Frank Light supposedly rode that horse up into a cave, and he thought that Frank Light took Summer up there and hit her in a cave.
Oh my God.
And the horse had gotten loose from him. And it is true that Frank Light's brother, not Frank Light, but Frank Light's brother,
That's
does
what I
own
heard,
horses.
that it was his brother. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his brother's horse.
Well, I heard that it was his brother that was actually on the horse when Summer went missing, that he was actually really looking out on the horse, but it wasn't Frank, that it was his brother. But I don't know if that's true. It's just what I heard. And who knows if what I heard is true at all, you know?
Well, that's what Donald said as well. It was Frank Light's. Donald tried to tell me it was Frank Light, but on the horse, not his brother, but
Okay.
Frank Light on the horse.
So I thought you meant I think she thought you said that it was the day Summer went missing that the horse got loose. And then I thought it was the day that you were talking to Don on the phone that
Right,
happened.
no.
The horse got loose. Sorry.
No. The day I was talking to Donald on the phone, Donald had lied to everyone. Actually, he had came up missing. Well, he wasn't really missing. He was in the basement. But he did come up missing for like 24 hours. And the next day he was in the basement because he called me from the basement and said he was hiding from everyone. He had got on a binge, you know, and he was real messed up in the head. He was crazy in the head. I mean, he wasn't like himself, you know, he was all fucked up. And I took up asking him, what's the matter? You know, what the hell's wrong with you? And he, you know, didn't really want to talk about it. Whatever conspired, what was going on with him, he didn't want to talk about it. But he was shook. And I'm talking shook as in, you just robbed a bank. You just, you know, held somebody up in a fucking park or on the side of a street. Adrenaline shook, like you just did something you wasn't supposed to do, and you're shook. You know, you're like just fucking shook completely. I think that's when he went and wherever Candace put Summer, this is my opinion, wherever she put Summer, I think that's when he had to go get her and put her somewhere else. And he just fucked him mentally completely up. That's what it did. Because he was totally messed up.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
I
then after that, he wouldn't go to work. He kept saying, I can't work. And that was for about 2 weeks. And that's when he went back into that job site. And because he had to get it done now. The deadline's running out. And that's when about the time the coworker came in and said something smelled like death. I think that he took that little girl and put her in there for holding until they could remove her somewhere. Maybe even, you know, waiting for them to pour concrete somewhere in that complex there. And possible she's got concrete over her now because he said she won't ever be found.
Yeah, that, they both said that.
Right.
She would never be found.
And there was a
Why would you
Bigfooter
say
that,
that?
there was a Bigfooter that got poured on that very site. There
I mean,
was.
As a mother missing a child, I would never say she will never be found. Those words would not even come out of my mouth. I don't understand why she would say that, or him.
It's a dumb thing to say.
Well, yeah, it is.
Thing to say.
It is. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
We could speculate till the cows come home.
I'm going to
Right.
tell you, there's really no speculation there, and the law enforcement knows that. There's no speculation. If Summer did not wander off in those woods, which I don't believe she did at all, Donna Candace was damn 100% positive she didn't, right? And if
Right.
you're that positive, then you know what happened to your kids right from day one anyway. Law enforcement knew that, but here's the thing: is whatever happened to that child, it was 2 minutes. And damn sure they know exactly what it happened and exactly where she's at. And, and that's where we need to put the pressure is on them. We need to put the pressure on them to get them to come forth and speak the truth. I mean, and unless we put that pressure where it belongs, we're not going to ever get the truth out of them, right?
Right.
Well, I feel like they'll never tell the truth because that means they go to jail. So why would they?
That's just too damn bad. And I think that lady that that was on our panel that suggested that Dom Wells be given a new lie detectors test before he gets out of jail.
Yep.
That should happen.
Yep.
And we should all be pushing for that to happen because this is the only chance we're going to get knowing he's 100% drug free.
Oh yeah, and they should have had her ass in there a long time ago, and questioned her again without.
Right. Oh, they did have her in there a few times. I knew they were on Candace's ass because they called her in and she cussed them. Then she wouldn't go in, so they were coming up there to the house. And Donald had to leave work. Like, I can count at least 4 or 5 times Donald had to leave work because he talked to me on the way home because TBI was there or detectives were there or law enforcement was there trying to get Candace to talk. And she was all upset wanting Donald home immediately because they were there. And he was going 90 to get home.
Right.
What's all this I'm hearing about the shed? Some new stuff coming up about the shed?
Oh, that was put out by
Don't tell me.
I can't even think of his name.
Oh.
That detective.
Oh, McDonough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He was talking about the bottom of the shed and got for clicks, likes, and views, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it happens. Anything for the
actually-
buck. He comes on once a week, talks about a bunch of bullshit that don't have a hill of beans to do with nothing, and goes back into hiding, right?
Well, all I know is that I think on one of your last lives, he was the topic for a while, and Mary and whatnot. And I had been on here, I'm going to say 2-3 months ago, and I mentioned that I did not like him. And a lot of people in the chat wanted to know my reason. And I didn't want to give my reason because I thought everybody would hate me.
Why ain't Chris McDonough putting up pictures of Summer like this? Why ain't he doing that? I mean, why ain't he keeping her pictures and her name out here in the spotlight? Chris, why ain't you Why ain't you putting this baby, out here keeping her alive? Or like this. There you go, Chris. Why ain't you doing these things? Why ain't you keeping this baby in the spotlight for everyone to love and see and and keep under law enforcement's ass to keep this case alive and not go running cold, right?
Right.
Why
Right.
ain't you doing that once a week? You come out with some shit once a week. Go back into your hiding place and just stay there.
Well, I'm sure that shed was checked anyways.
It was numerous
You know.
times.
Yes.
Numerous times. They kicked the door in on the other one, but they didn't do that for 2 days.
They
And
should
2
have did it right
hours.
away.
They should have did it right away, but 2 days before they did that. But I don't think Summer was there.
The pictures are beautiful.
Candace told, well, thank you, sweetheart. Candace told me that she went down to her church, and she plainly told me, I said, well, why'd you go there looking for Summer? Why would you go all the way to the church? And she said, I don't know, sissy, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to see if the preacher was there or Robin. And I said, well, who was there? Nobody, sissy, nobody. She got all of, I said, oh, I'm okay. But I think that's where she took Summer to hide her. Somewhere down there around that damn church. And there was plenty of places that had camera systems if she took the back road.
If she took the back road.
Well, remember when he spoke about that, how there were 2 routes, one with cameras and one without. And when he took that road down.
Well, that church should have had some cameras on it. I mean, wasn't they the one that had kids running around playing hide and go seek?
Well, when he went down to show the fire tower, that was the route with what he believed was no cameras, which I thought was very important.
Right. Yeah, because that's exactly the direction she took that baby in. And that's what I told him. If they'd went down there with search dogs, they probably would hit on wherever that baby was in that area. And I hear that the scent stays there for up to a year or more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why ain't they doing that? Why ain't they checking that area with some search dogs?
I think I honestly believe now, because it's been so long, that they have to have something in order to bring the dogs back in.
Why are they going to?
Huh?
Are they going to bring the dogs back?
I heard they're getting ready to do one more search.
Well, I had
I think that's due to the fact that they want to get wandering off the table before they prosecute. I think prosecution is coming into play, and I think Candace knows it.
Yeah,
and she knew it early on.
They just have to make sure they have all their ducks in a row, because they only have one chance at it.
Absolutely.
So they just.
What do you think about that, Tiffany?
What is your question? I apologize.
About them going back.
Oh, God.
Do you think that they have a case and they're possibly getting ready to prosecute?
Oh, I think that there's a really big possibility that there are some things in the works, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I pray that they are. I pray that they're ahead of the game here with this. I really do.
Well, that's what I heard. Grapevine says that they're ready to do one more search, which I kind of felt that's coming anyway.
I think that there's going to be some moves made for sure.
Right.
I think that everything is so quiet means something.
Right.
Yeah, it is pretty quiet.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you be quiet too if the target if the target was now the neighbor and this one and that one, and all the heat was off of you, and you notice that staying quiet put the heat on everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
How easy life has become for them with these YouTube people who will just legitimately attack anybody they possibly can. It's really interesting the way that these people behave.
Right, right. But like I said, though, they only have one chance at it, and when the time comes, that's when they're going to hit,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do too. I think it's all about to come down. And I think it's going to come down before they let Donald out of jail as well, because they don't, they're not wanting to release him. I think everything's just going to go on over into another big thing, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Are you going to her 1 year?
Who you asking?
Tiffany, is she
No.
going to Tennessee for the 1 year
Nope.
revival? Or
No, I was actually planning on going for summers 1 year, and I wasn't going, to do anything for YouTube. I was going to go just to go. And then when I found out that it was going to be a extravaganza, I backed out completely. I don't want to be around these people that
I'm
are.
telling you,
Nope.
the rooms down, every room down there is booked. I told people a couple weeks back, if you want a room, get one. It's going to be hard to find a place. It's going to be
Spivey, who is Spivey? Listen. If I'm sitting here, I really hope you're not going to disrespect Prayer Garden's chat like this. It's been going on for like a half an hour. Spivey, please stop. Just because I'm up here doesn't mean that you can completely disrespect the whole room. I mean, what are you trying to say? I don't understand. I don't understand why you're doing this to Prayer Garden. Just please stop.
I don't
You
understand
don't need to
why.
be disrespectful. I'll just get down here because I'm not gonna let this turn into craziness.
Who is it?
I don't know. Spivey is a troll for Benny, and they came on my panel and they made some really nasty comments towards a child of one of my friends, and ever since I removed them that night, they've been really angry and vicious, and
that ain't one of ours. I
No,
know that's not
they're
one of
not
ours.
they're not
No,
welcome.
the problem with the chat is we have Ziggy's people, we have BK's people, we have Tiffany's people,
Yeah.
we have PG's people. And but if Spivey is making that much of a ruckus, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. We got this. Tracy is angry that she thinks it's the Tiffany show. My name's in the title. I mean, I came up here to talk to Prayer Garden.
Spidey, I personally gave you a steel-toe boot right in the ass.
Yes.
And you're blocked, bitch. You won't be back in here. All I needed to hear is your Benny Key. You're fucking out. There you go.
Jesus.
And suck on Benny Key's backside. Don't come in here.
I love that.
They were on my panel a couple streams ago, actually. And
yeah, I'm no Benny Keys fan. That's for damn sure. I ain't a fan of anybody that signed that contract.
No.
Oh, hell no.
PG, and I hate to say this, but realistically, for some of the YouTubers, the only reason they're going down to that prayer vigil is for what?
Money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, clicks,
and
likes,
I tell you now, do I plan to go? I was planning, but will you see any pictures or anything? No, you won't. This is a sacred type thing. This is between, if you show up there, you show up to support Summer, not a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You show up there to pray for this little girl. You show up there not to see and be seen, but to show up there to just hoping that 1,000 prayers are going up and she's found. Am I taking my children? Absolutely. But will I be sharing anything? Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will I go over to the jail, see if I could get in? Maybe.
You're so funny. Prayer Garden, did you have, I don't know, because I've never asked you, and you don't have to answer me if I'm being nosy, but have you tried to talk to Don while he was in jail at all, or?
Even if Don calls me and I do speak to him, or, or even if I go to Tennessee and see him, that's, I would not speak of that out here because that's not, that's nobody's business.
Yep.
Absolutely none.
Okay. I didn't know if you, because I haven't watched you in a little while, so I didn't know.
Neither have
I respect that.
And, I can tell you this. Donald's pissed. He's very angry with Candace. Yeah, Candace, you know he is, don't you? PG ain't lying. I'm telling the 100% truth. He really didn't like your little escapade with Ernie, right? Ain't sure you still ain't going around Ernie, is he? He's got his, he's thinking that you are. And it ain't gonna be good for you, Candace, when he gets out, is it? You're trying to keep kissing his ass. You're trying to keep kissing his ass. Why, Candace? Because you're afraid. You're afraid. You're afraid he might just be crazy enough to tell, right? That's what you're afraid of, you dumb shit. But all hell's going to break loose, Candace. I think before he gets out of jail, to be honest with you. If he's smart, he'll call the warden down at middle of the night to tell on you anyway. But, it is what it is. I can't tell Donald what to do. I can't tell him what to do. He made a big mistake and he knows it. But, your little bit of kissing his ass ain't working for you too good. If he does get out, if he does get free before they prosecute your asses, you're in a big lot of trouble, Candace. I can only tell you that. A big lot. I don't know if you even got a place to live anymore. That's what I can say.
PG,
Donald ain't happy at all.
If you go to Tennessee, you're not going to be able to talk to anybody.
Oh, I know. I know. I know. I was going to do the sign language.
You should just wear a piece of cardboard on you.
I don't talk to anybody anyway, and I don't go in crowds without a mask on. So, I personally don't give a shit.
Maybe
there'll probably be all kinds of photos on the internet saying that's PG. That's PG. They'll probably be showing people's kids. That's her kids. Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh, I hope not.
They're crazy as hell.
Maybe you should practice doing a Southern drawl.
A lot of people, I hear that a lot of people's going down there with drones. I don't know why. Like, what are they going to do with the drone, right? But I hear that some are. It'd be cool to stand on the road and fly it back in those woods, but you ain't going to find Summer because Summer ain't in those woods. Donald, Candace, and Grandis made that damn clear from day one, right?
All right. They made it very clear that she's never going to be found.
Well, they made it very clear she wasn't wandering off either.
Right.
And that's because Donald and them didn't want the police up there all over their property.
Right.
That's why they pushed so hard for abduction.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
I have a question that's been bugging me. It seems to me like whatever searches they have done so far have only been like, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Don B or Cam who said like a 1/4 mile radius and no further.
Right.
That's crazy. They should be going out further than that.
Way further.
Because that wouldn't even include the church, PG.
Right. Well, I know Cam and Allie lies a lot. Because
but I don't know who I heard it from. I can't remember.
How do you find so much time to watch all these channels?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm home. I'm home all day, and I can't go out. I can't go out, so this is all I have.
Donald and Candace didn't want searches up there, but I understand from my understandings, they have been those woods have been extensively searched. extensively. And other areas have been extensively searched as well due to some accusations. But and I don't think that's what happened to Summer. I mean, I do not believe. But then again, Candace threatened to, take a long walk off a short bridge not too long ago, right?
We don't
Well,
know
Right.
at that particular time, you do know they found a body, right?
No.
Yeah, they did. They had found a body.
Oh yeah, the man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and because she had thought, oh shit. So that tells us what Summer ain't too hidden for her to had that worry, right?
Right.
So that means she could probably more than likely be found. There you go.
So,
And she also
had to,
knows that she hasn't been up on that property. So,
yeah. So
you know,
Hillbilly 29, Hillbilly.
I think they need to be checking up there because if I know anything about Donald, I know he'd want Summer close to him,
I believe so.
regardless. And also Candace made a statement. I'm going to do me and my boys, and
Yeah.
Summer's going to always be with me no matter what anybody thinks. And at that time, where was she sitting? 110 Ben Hill Road.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. So, if you want to find Summer, you're probably going to have to check that property because I'm sure she's somewhere. And somewhere.
That was a very chilling comment that she had said. I that always stood out to me.
I took note that she had some pictures and she kept looking. She kept zooming in and zooming out, zooming in, zooming out in this one area over by some trees. I don't know if anyone else off of her porch zooming in and out on this one area. Now, did she remove that particular? It was on that. I believe it was on that Summer Wells thing.
Wasn't it by the trees?
The Don Wells, videos or whatever. But she kept zooming in and out on this one particular area past the swings over by some trees. And was she possibly fucking with everybody, like this is the area, but you guys are too stupid to know it? Or was she just, oh, I'm sure doing this is going to get somebody to search that area? I don't know, but it's worth searching, right? Because she might have thought we were just too stupid to realize she's focusing in on where Summer's possibly been laid, to rest.
Well, you're right.
It's worth looking into.
It is worth looking into. Every spot is worth looking into.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they would even take the chance to have her that close to home.
I think they
I just
would.
don't know.
I think they would. They're morons.
Well,
you don't even know. I mean, they have the
well, she does like to play games.
They have the
We
ash
know
crosses around their necks, right?
Yeah.
So, to make people think they burned her.
Oh God.
I mean, these are the most to be honest with you.
Everybody better do their research into cremation.
To be honest with
how long it would take to burn her.
Don and Candace and Grandis actually did Donald and Candace more so than anybody. These two, Don and Candace, they have made more of a mockery out of their daughter's disappearance than anyone else ever could. They've made more of a joke and a mockery out of it than anyone else could have ever made out of anything. I mean, they act like they just did not give a flying fuck about their daughter, right?
Well, right. If they did, they got a funny way of showing it.
There you go. I haven't ever seen people act the way they've acted. I mean, I would think she was off somewhere for a sleepover. The way they acted out on this case.
Hey, can I ask a question? Has anybody ever talked to her friend, Summer's little friend, her mom, that Marlena, is that her name? Has she ever been, anybody ever approached her?
Who?
I think her name is Marlena. Remember Summer's little
She's not
friend that she hid?
open to speaking to people.
Oh, she's not. Oh,
Not that I know of. I think that, well, for the most part, I guess, from what I understand, Marlena doesn't want anybody speaking about, her little girl, and which is understandable,
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
She's
yeah,
so tiny,
definitely.
small,
Right.
and innocent. She deserves to have that privacy. But Marlena is not. I think she's laid low all this time. But from what I understand, the people that have spoken with her have always said she wants her privacy, and that
Right.
she's not open to coming on YouTube and doesn't have any desire to. And
Because she
Oh, and
knows
I
how
totally
dangerous those
respect
people
that.
are.
Yeah,
She
and
knows
I
how
respect
dangerous
that.
they are, and she's got a child to protect,
Yep.
and I don't blame her.
she's
Yeah.
doing the right thing.
Yeah, I did see Mr. Dobbs has a YouTube page. Actually, I think it's kind of hilarious. He's singing songs on there and all kinds of shit, ain't he?
He plays he plays the guitar and sings
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
and God bless him. God bless him. That man went up there with a deed to some property he should have had every right to be on, and he got his ass ran off. And not only ran off, but they went looking for him. That they suggested some hotel rooms to him. Thank God he didn't stay at them, because later that night they went looking for him. Right? What they going to do with him when they find him? Why would they even fucking be looking for this man? It's crazy shit.
Yeah.
It taught me one thing: anybody suggested someplace for you to stay, don't go there. Stay safe, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Perk Garden, thank you for having me up. I'm gonna go, but I appreciate that you were so kind to me tonight. That was nice. We didn't yell at one another.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, girl, there ain't no need for us to yell at each other ever again.
No.
I mean, we're in it to win it, and that's for Summer.
I'm glad that we were able to talk, and also thank you for being so respectful when it comes to, me donating and not being the way these people are, thinking that I owe them my
You owe
bank
nobody nothing.
shit. Like, they're out of
No.
their minds. I'm not showing them shit. They got all they're getting from me. I'm not showing another thing. They're not getting any more.
God bless. God bless. God bless.
It's not happening.
Absolutely. That
Well, it should have never happened to begin with.
No,
No.
it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have.
But these people, the people that collected for that reward fund, they're going to need to show what they collected, because there's some things in the works they're going to have to answer. They are going to have to answer legally for what they've been doing.
Why didn't they show that receipt right there, right?
They never
Right.
did.
Why didn't they show every donation they took in from everyone, right?
Yep,
And even,
absolutely.
And even more so with initials,
Mhm.
with initials.
And,
And here's my
Carla
thing.
said, I'm not
If
showing
I was,
you shit, she said to everybody.
if I was going to do a fundraiser to help Summer's reward go up more,
Mhm.
what I would do is I would put this right here, the bank and everything, the information. And you know what I would tell people?
Mhm.
The same thing I tell people when I have people on my panel that I like to support. I say, look, this is their Cash App, or this is, their address, or this is the, I ask the people first if, it's okay. But if they say it's okay and we want to support them, I put their information in there and I say, listen, everything you're going to give me, tonight or over the next few days or whatever, please give it to them. Don't even put it into my hands. Put it directly into theirs. I would appreciate that. God bless. And that's the way I would have done it. I don't want anything coming to me. Put it directly where it needed to be. Why didn't they do that?
Because they were skimming, and I guarantee you, whatever they collected.
And I've seen Chris do it too. He was taking up a donation for somebody to find her sister or somebody else on his panel when he's doing Mary and stuff. actually helped them people more than he did Mary's family, right? But
Oh yeah,
you know,
he did. He did.
yeah, he did.
But you know, yeah,
And
he's still a good guy, right?
and I mean, he was helping everybody but fucking Summer, right?
Yeah.
And her reward fund. But it's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it is what it is. But the thing is, you know, the point I'm getting across is I seen people donating to him, and then he's like, "Oh no, no, no! You know, you got a cash app." But this is after, like, you know, this is after like 25 people donated to him, right?
Yeah.
And now that's going to be his money. That's bullshit right there. That was bullshit. And I seen him do it more than once. So you know, excuse me for telling the truth, but that was a fucking Ponzi scheme that he ran, you know, like now, oh no, 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 back it up. You know, but how he done got the money, right?
Right.
That's supposed to go for somebody
Yeah.
else. So
Oh yeah.
there you go. You know, did he return it all? I don't know. I doubt it, but you know, and I doubt it very seriously. But you know, he could have. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would have done. I would have returned it and said, you know, redirect it somewhere else. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, the way I would run things personally, because I ain't dealing with all this, you know. What I'm saying is people, you know, people always want to think the worst of you. They always want to think that you got this certain amount of people wanting to think the worst of you, you know?
Oh
And
yeah. Everybody always
you
wants to
know,
think
they
that
can
you're
see
the.
all your faults. They can see all,
Mhm.
you know, all PG's faults. They can
Yep.
see everybody else's faults. But you know what? You better be seeing your own faults, because I'll tell you why. God ain't going to ask you about PG or Tiffany or anybody else. God's going to definitely ask you about you. And your faults you better be having in check is checking yourself. That's all I got to say. You better make sure that God's happy with you. You don't have to worry about if he's happy with PG or not.
Tracy Wendover, do I have proof that they were skimming? When somebody says, fuck Civis Bank, send your money to my Cash App, we're about to drop it like it's hot, you know, that's enough proof for you. You should always know when somebody refuses to show what they're collecting for 14 whole days, for 24 hours straight, taking shifts, and they don't have a damn thing to show you and refuse to show you. That's all the proof you need.
That's truth.
All the proof you need. They were absolutely scamming. And I don't know if you've seen, but the charitable donation, the fraud department in Tennessee has actually said it's fraudulent. So check
and
that
I'm going to
out.
tell you, I could be on here saying, hey, I want to take me and my family down to Tennessee for the 1 year summer thing. I don't know where I'm going to get the money. I don't know how I'm going to pay for a hotel. I don't know how I'm going to pay for gas. I've got kids to raise, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people, you know, would help PG out. They would be like, oh, PG, I don't do that shit. If I can't afford to go somewhere on my own, I don't go.
Right.
That's just it.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something. I am not doing, you know, a free vacation off of Summer's back. Hell to the no.
Never.
Hell to the no. Absolutely not.
No, and
That's
these
what I'm
people that
talking
do
about.
that are sick. I think that's so disgusting.
It's wrong. It's so fucking
So
wrong.
disgusting.
And I'll tell you another thing. No matter where I'm at on the 15th of June, you could bet your ass a computer will be opened, and there will be a definite candlelight here for Summer. There will be a candlelight here for Summer. Pictures, music, everything. Just like I did for Christmas, just like I did for Easter, just like I do for every holiday. Hell yeah. There will be something for Summer right here for everybody. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. We are going to keep that little girl's name in the spotlight. And we are going, like I said when I came here, she is our topic. And our goal is to bring her home and get justice for her. And we are going to reach that damn goal. No matter what, we're going to reach that goal. And all creators need to be working together to get that goal reached. And I think Tiffany is doing her share.
I do
Thanks.
too.
Thanks, Prayer Garden. That was nice of you. I appreciate that. And thank
Girl,
you
God
for
bless
having me
you.
on. Thank you for her letting me come up here. I'll come back again soon.
Oh, I appreciate that, girl.
And
You're
stop by
always welcomed here.
my channel too. It was nice to see you in my chat today.
God bless and much love.
You too.
Nice
Bye,
meeting you,
guys.
Tiffany.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too.
That was nice of you, Prayer Garden.
I'm going to tell you something. I do what the Lord leads me to do, and the Lord led me to have this little girl's back, because I'm going to tell you why. She done nothing wrong. She done nothing wrong, and she's been beaten and badgered and done horribly, just a little too long, you know.
Yeah.
And when people are done like that, they start to think everybody, you know, they start to become everybody's enemy, because they think everybody's their enemy. And that was wrong, that people made her feel like that as well. And that shit don't fly with me. It don't fly with me. You know, she needs to know that she does have good people out here that has her back and cares. And hey, Johnny L Pirate, I ain't never seen you before, hun. I'm gonna bring you on up. What's up? What's up, my man? Are you there? John. Hey, John, can you hear us? Hello?
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm just fine, sweetheart.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm just hanging out tonight. What are you folk doing up?
We're talking about the Summer Wells case. Are you familiar with that, sweetheart?
A little bit. Why don't you fill me in?
Oh.
Huh?
He said
What
a
did
little
you-
bit. He said a little bit. Why don't you fill me in?
Well, it's a little girl from Tennessee that came up missing on a hill. A lot of people's been thrown under the bus by the parents. Actually, so many that one bus wouldn't be enough to fit them all under, right? We'd have to have a trainload of buses to throw all these people under. But at the end of it all, the focus goes back upon the parents. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put Summer's picture up tonight. I had that sweet baby.
Oh, that one's cute.
Yeah, you know, this is a picture of her. Look at her teeth, perfect teeth.
Yeah.
Perfect. She's just perfect every way. In every way, just beautiful baby, absolutely beautiful. Summer don't need a lot of things around her to make her look beautiful. She's just beautiful, period, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. So, you know, as I ask every night, please pray for her. Please pray for her. Keep them prayers going up, because I know God's sending down the answers. And pray for one another. Absolutely pray for one another. You got room in there?
Pray for John too.
Pray for John. Absolutely. Pray for John. But yeah, pray for PG. You know, pray for PG as well. I've been going through a lot of hell as well, so I can't lie. Please pray for me and my family as well. And always know I'm praying for you. And sweet Norway, God bless you, sweetheart. Everybody that supported the channel tonight. I don't know if I got everybody and popped everybody up and gave you how grateful I am, but I'm always grateful. And I just want everybody to know I'm always grateful, you know.
And we all love you, PG.
I love you guys. I love you guys with everything I got. And God knows it. God knows, you know, I absolutely love y'all. And he put this family together, and I truly thank him. But we need to keep Summer in the spotlight. And, you know, if and I hope creators understand, if we're going to waste time, let's waste it on these missing children and bringing them home, right? I
Right.
mean, Ziggy could have done 5 missing children while she was complaining about somebody's checking account. She could have had 5 faces out there letting the world know that these children need our help and that we need to bring them home. But instead, she wasted it on, a shit show, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Please, let's bring these children home. Let's just bring them home and get this justice for them, because that's what they deserve. And maybe if we fight hard enough and we bring them home and we get justice for these children, other people will think twice before they hurt a child, because they know we're going to be after their asses next, and we're going to make sure they get what is coming to them as well, right? I mean, we're not just helping these children, but we're saving others. We're saving others while we're doing it. So please, keep fighting, keep praying. Without God, we ain't got nothing, right?
Right.
So keep them prayers going up, please. And I feel like I'm rambling on, but God bless you all. And I got to go because John just screwed it all up, right?
Yeah.
Thanks
Have
a lot,
good night,
John.
PG. Good night, everybody in the
guys.
chat. Love
Good
you
night.
guys.
Love you
Much
too,
love.
everybody.
Thanks for coming up, Deb. Thanks, Wisconsin Mama. And my mods, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Everybody here is awesome.